Hey guys, I'm currently in the closet right now. Don't read too much into that. I'm here because of the sound dampening. Because you see, I started playing Cadence of Hyrule recently, and I just can't help myself. Now I have to do things to the beat of the song. It's really annoying, actually. Oh no. Do you guys hear that? It's getting closer. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Thank God, a slow song. I can just do this with my hands now. I mean, hey, Hammy here. Today, we're gonna be talking about Cadence of Hyrule. Cadence of Hyrule is the new Zelda rhythm game based on the successful indie game Crypt of the Necrodancer. In it, you play as Zelda or Link, and eventually Cadence as well, in an attempt to, rhythm, like dance battle your way through the overworld in order to gather up new items, get upgrades, and then eventually go and take on 4 different bosses. And then finally take on the endgame. But the catch is that you can only move on the beat of the song, be that attacking enemies, walking around, and even using your various items. Once all the enemies in an area are cleared out, then you can have a second to breathe and wander around to solve puzzles on the screen without having to adhere to the beat of the song. Or get stuck because I do not know how to get this gear because I apparently am pretty dumb. The game begins with a cutscene showing off the new bad guy, Octavo. He looks like some kind of bad guy rock star. That doesn't sound good at all! Couldn't possibly sell millions of CDs! So Octavo uses his magical lute to put the king to sleep. And depending on which character you choose at the beginning of the game, the other character will also be put to sleep. That's right, you have to choose! Which one do I love more? No, it's too hard to decide! So Octavo uses the Triforce of Power, empowering his lute to become the Golden Lute! And we all know that the golden version of things is super strong. It was definitely the great Confucius who once said, "Odd job golden gun combo, too OP, please nerf." Anyways, Cadence drops into Hyrule and the game immediately starts. Ow. You'll notice that the way you move around is predetermined by specific square spaces that are only seen during the battles. That's because you can only move in 4 directions, up, down, left, and right. You know, barring some sort of special item or something. Wait, I did it. After choosing which character you want to play as, and for this playthrough I primarily played as Link, you immediately set out into the world, and you can honestly go pretty much anywhere but Hyrule Castle, which is where the endgame takes place. The game is like mixing a Link to the Past with Necrodancer in a good way. The world is open and random, so when you play your world, it'll be laid out differently than mine. Oh my god, when you think about it, this is kind of like Nintendo publicly endorsing randomizers. Honestly, I've always thought this is a really good idea. Games should actually have some sort of randomizer element. It adds a lot to the replayability if you really like the game. Most of the famous Zelda items that you find, like the boomerang, hookshot, and bottles, are found completely randomly, making your traversal through the world a little more unique. There might be times throughout the game when you only have certain items, and still need to figure out how you can use those tools that you have to solve the problems right in front of you. One of my favorite puzzles had me clearing this cave of all the enemies, but I didn't really know exactly how to do that. I can't reach this guy. I can't even shoot him with my bow. And looking back on this footage now, there are obviously statues there which you probably used the hookshot on, but I didn't have the hookshot at this point. Sometimes it's just hard to think of things in the moment, okay? Because you're constantly under stress. So what I ended up doing was using the Cane of Someria to create a stopping point, and then use the ice rod to create a path, sliding straight into the newly formed block with the cane. Then I could easily dispatch my enemies up close! Ha! And get the chest. Yay. You can find most of the items in the game from random chests from defeating enemies. There's also a lot of secret caves in the overworld that have a lot of tough enemies in them. And after progressing through one of the dungeons in the game, there's a special chest that lets you pick from one of 3 randomized items that you still need. Which is super nice because then you can actually pick up the items you want to use. There's also hidden merchants all over the place, and sometimes they have upgrades you can buy with rupees. Some of those upgrades are even permanent for your current playthrough. So even if you die, which you will die a lot, at least you'll still have some minor passive upgrades to help speed you back to where you were. There are still items and weapons that you will lose if you get hit or die though, or consumables that only stack to 1 like these different scrolls. Most of the items that you find throughout the world persist after you die though. When you die, at least you have a chance to recoup some of your losses by buying stuff with gems though. Some of them are actually really important upgrades like full heart containers, and some of them are just like, hey, you want a torch? I got a torch. No? How about a shovel? I got shovels. Gems are something you definitely want to spend time gathering though, and you get those by defeating whole groups of enemies or just finding them randomly throughout the world. They're definitely a very importante, but they're not so valuable that you feel the need to hoard them all the time, which is definitely a good. One of the coolest things that I like about the game is the variety of weapons that change up how you can approach fights based on how you like to play the game. If you want to fight everything directly in front of you, then use the wide sweeping broadsword. You want a little extra range to your attack? Use the spear. Every character has a weapon that's specifically for them, too. Like Zelda's rapier, which lets you dash attack enemies and get up close and personal. And then there's my favorite, the flail. I like it because it's like the knight in chess and allows you to attack forward in 2 spaces to the side.
Your pawn is meaningless, Toad. Did you really think that you could take on the power of my knight? Take this!
Oh my god, he used the knight attack! That lets him attack in an unfounded L-shaped pattern unique to that piece!
Insolent fool. Your death was inevitable.
And your mom didn't love you? Yeah. It's good, okay? And it allows for some awesome clears like this! That's right, baby, all skill! Actually, sometimes I just kind of jump around and hope for the best. Then, of course, there's the short sword. The short sword can go f*** itself. All of the characters, of course, play a little bit different. You have Link, who has a shield that can block and reflect projectiles directly in front of him, and he also has the classic spin attack. Ha! Zelda, however, has Nehru's Love, which, like in Smash Bros., reflects projectiles from any direction. Zelda also has her ranged fire attack, which is really good, and now I'm regretty for not choosing waifu Zelda. You can also play as Cadence, and it would seem that there are plans for a hidden character or two. You know, it just occurred to me that I'm actually pretty bad at this. I mean, we've talked about a lot of things in the game for sure, but we haven't talked about the most important things, the music and the beat. The music is, quite frankly, fantastic. It's 10 out of 10 good times. Most of the game music has been playing throughout this video, and you can tell a lot of time and effort went into creating these fun and lively remixes. There's even different song track variations for every area in the game, depending on if your game is paused, if there's enemies around, or even when it's peaceful. A little touch that I enjoyed was that the merchant will sometimes sing along to the song. I mean, he's not the best, but it's better than nothing, I guess. We touched on how the game functions, but it's honestly a little hard to explain because it's one of those games where you have to play to really understand how it affects your decision making. You have to move to the beat and attack to the beat of the song, all the while avoiding obstacles, dodging ranged attacks, and huge AoE moves. And you have to know all the different types of enemies and how each of them will attack you. Needless to say, it gets super complicated really fast sometimes, and the hardest part of the game is definitely the end, when they basically just throw everything at you relentlessly, mixing in all kinds of crazy mechanics together. What? I gotta manage all of this? All the while making, like, little micro decisions on the beat?
My trustworthy flail, you're letting me down!
The more you stay on beat, the more rewards you're going to get. And even with weapons like my favorite weapon, the obsidian flail, you get more damage based on how well your beat combo is doing.
And this?
What's he doing?
Is to go even further beyond!
You see, this Triforce piece at the bottom, it's like your friend. You give him a call, you shoot him a text every once in a while, check in on him, and he keeps track of the beat for you. But anytime you're off beat, things aren't as good for you because you lose your multiplier. In my case, with my specific weapon, anytime I'm off beat or get hit, I lose all of my damage and have to build it back up again. It creates these really stressful situations that can sometimes end pretty badly. That's right, baby. Got you with the flail. Got you with the flail. What is he doing so much damage for? What is he doing? He's doing so much damage. Oh my god.
No! I lost all my rupees!
That was a lot of rupees. So the main objective of the game is to locate a bunch of items to try and help you. Use those items to get to locations or solve puzzles you couldn't before, then find all the dungeons and defeat the 4 guardians. Then you can finally enter Hyrule Castle and finish the game. The bosses in this game are, well, they're all puns.
Go maracas! I can't even believe this!
Rizra-obo. Oboe. It's an oboe. Get it?
My god, it's the bass guitar most nights!
Actually, this fight's really dope.
The Glockenspiel!
Wait, what is that? Glockenspiel? A glockenspiel is a percussion instrument composed of a set of tuned keys arranged in a fashion of the keyboard of a piano.
Oh, it's these things! How did I not know that name?
Then, of course, you take on Octavo, which I still don't know how this fight works. And then, surprise, surprise, Ganon's here.
What, he's not good enough for a pun name? You cowards!
The boss fights are actually really fun, but if there's one criticism that I have to give to this game, it's that most of the time the bosses are way too easy.
Honestly, some of the times I was just beating them without even knowing how much damage I was doing, and suddenly they were just dead. Maybe I should just take it as my due credit though, and just say I'm really good.
Honestly, the fight with Octavo, I could barely process what was happening because the fight is just so chaotic.
Look at this, there's so many things happening, I'm just getting hit from everywhere.
Ganon himself is actually a really fun fight. Your companions, depending on who you're playing as at the time, will be frozen on either side and you have to release them. But when you do, you get to play as all 3 at the same time. So this fight is honestly just one big nod towards Four Swords Adventures, and I kinda love it.
But enough praising for now, we got Ganon to kill. That's right, run away, scared Ganon! Yeah! Oh god, get out of that, Oh, no, turn around! Oh, dang it!
What the heck, he gets to refreeze my guys?
Yeah, that's right, come here! Oh god, he's spawning more and more enemies! That's right, just align all the people on the Triforces, and then we'll get it! We're gonna get it right now! Let's go, Link! Let's go! Man, we did it! Hey, I don't have to do things to the beat of the song anymore! Thank God for that. Who's ready for round 2?
Yo, what up? Thanks for watching that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Actually made a video on a new game on time. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Amazing job, me. Thank you, as always, to all the patron supporters out there, the people who send me art, everyone out there liking and commenting on my videos. Thanks so much. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Did you play Cadence of Hyrule? Do you like it? And what other videos would you like to see from me? Finally feel like I'm getting back into the swing of things, so I'll see you guys in the next video.